Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. Woot. Just been reading up on some knives. They're 100 years old. Anywho, that's another story. What we hear today about is these guys. Yep, Fishermans and Jacks. Let's check them out. So yesterday, Mary and I had a set to. We argued to no end about what we're going to do with this guy. Remember this guy? That fisherman? That beast of a fisherman? See that? It's an imperial. It's huge. It's humongous. It's awesome. Look at that. Okay. I gave it a clean up and all, and it has a lot of fancy stuff on it. I'll put a link if you haven't seen it. I'll put whatever down there, if I remember. Yeah, I'm old. The problem with this guy is, you see the handle here? It looks great, don't it? It's very nice. But the other side, not so much. And, well, I like things to be nice. If I'm going to keep a knife, I want it nice. I want it sharp, and I want it shiny and looking nice. You know, like somebody cares about an old guy. Just saying. The argument we had was, okay, we're going to replace these. What color? So I thought, I can't make a decision, and nor can Mary, and she can't convince me, and I can't convince her. So I thought, I'll do a survey. I didn't know you could do this on YouTube. It's called a post. Basically, it was this guy. So what I did was we decided on 3 colors: green, blue, red. And we put a post out there, and I said, hey, campers, this is the problem we're having. What do you think? And it came back huge. I'm going to update it quickly, and we'll see how we're doing here. Ho! Okay. It's pretty close, which kind of surprised me. We have the green came in at 34%, the red at 27%, and that surprised me. And option 2 was the blue, 39%. So, according to you guys, blue it is. And then I thought, what do we do with the other colors? Well, I got these 2 guys. This is a fisherman, and it's one of those fishermen that has the fish and nothing on the other side, and it's a single blade. I kind of like these. Got the bottle opener, scaler. Very cool. I like it. The only thing it doesn't seem to have is a hook remover. I don't use one anyway. I use my, what are they called? Thermostats, hemostats, those things. Those little scissor things that aren't scissors. The little clippy on the end, and you can whoop, whoop. So these work fine. Well, as you can see, it's a very nice cover. Okay. I love that. It's that, I don't know, cracked ice thingy, whatever. See that? But look at it. It's a disaster. Especially on this side. Don't know what was going on there. So I thought, this one needs a new cover too. What color? Well, looky. I think that this should be option 2, no? Option 1, which came in second. The green. So this guy gets green. And then I found this guy. Look at this guy. It's just a single blade jack. Didn't have anything on it. Little dinged up. It's got a ding on there. Okay. Little loose and wobbly. Blades in good condition. Needs to be cleaned up. But I thought, I wonder, I'm looking at these 2 here. And I'm wondering, do you think you could modify this? I don't know if I can do that. That might be difficult. Because cutting this might overheat the blade. You know what though? I think I'm going to give it a try. Let's try and convert this guy to this guy. And then we'll have another one And the third color, yep, red. So here we are. By the way, I did find another one, this guy here, and I'm looking at the covers, and they're kind of okay, and I like the idea of the pinstripe, but it's a little beat up, but that's another story. Let's have at these guys, see what we can break. Okay, see, here we have the little devils. This is the original one which I cleaned up and we need to replace. The survey said blue, so I'm going to need to take the clamshells off, which is always traumatic, and we'll put the blue on there. That's all this guy needs. Then we have green for this guy, this Fisherman. Same thing again. We're going to have to take the clamshells off, clean him up, and put on green. And then there's this guy, which we're going to modify. Well, allegedly. And that one is red. So that's where we are. This guy's got to come apart. We're going to be cutting and doing all sorts of odd things with it. Clean him up and put this on. Because that would take too long to do as a video, I'm just going to show the highlights of each one. You've seen me do this before. The main difference is the way I'm putting these on. I got me a heat gun, and you will see it in use, hopefully. And I think it works. This shrinks a little bit, but it really gets tight and sits on there well. We'll start through each one, going through blue, green, red, and then you can let me know what you think. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll show you different things, because a lot of them I'm going to repeat. So you'll see me do like the clamshells, clean one, and then putting the actual cover on, things like that. So it'll vary. So you can see, hopefully in the whole video will show the whole process of doing this. So the first thing we've got to do is take these clamshells off, which you know is very traumatic for me because I'm worried about breaking those clips. And I've already taken this off before. Typically what works for me is this little pokey thing, and I can get underneath there and just lift that clip slightly so that you don't force it all the way back. You don't want to put too much on it. It's just going to break off. So that's what I'll do, and hopefully they'll come off without breaking. Well, apparently I didn't put it, well, I know I put it on top, it doesn't move, but that seemed to come out really easy. Having said that, now we have this guy. And there we go. Well, for that, look at that. I just cleaned this guy up. Did I take? I thought I took the clamshells off, but we'll just wipe them off and whatever. This is what we're working on. That's what it looks like on the inside. I'm still not sure what this material is. I wish I could find out. And here you can see pretty rusty under there. This one's not too bad. We're going to clean it up. We'll just give it a good rub and get all the nasties off. We'll clean it. You want the surfaces as clean as possible, so I use alcohol, that rubbing alcohol, and it seems to work. So I have some 2000 foam-backed sandpaper, and they come in pieces like this. These I got from Terrell in Texas, and they're great. I love these. They're so good for cleaning up. And this is 2000. I think he sent me 400, 1,000, no, 800, no, 400, 1,000 and 2,000 grit. I don't like to use the whole piece. I just cut them off. Help sharpen the scissors. Not really. And I just go through one piece at a time. I don't waste as much. So I'm just going to rub them down, get rid of the rust and whatnot. So while you have it apart like this, it's a good way to clean. Especially these. You know, you hit it with 2,000 right now. Then you can clean up with mothers. Don't forget the inside. It's going to be folding over here. You want this surface nice and clean as well. So I just give it a rub. It doesn't have to be all shiny, but you just don't want any stuff that's going to affect the vinyl from sticking on. If you look on this one, the rust buildup is really bad. I'm actually going to have to scratch it off and then clean it up. So we got a lot of the nasty stuff off. The problem is that there's a lot of buildup around these pieces that are going to stick out. I'm going to try and clean them up, polish these before I put the vinyl on, because I don't want to be sanding over the vinyl. I want to cut them out. So this is the heat gun that I got. It's a Chandler Tool Ultimate Heat Gun. Found it on Amazon. I'll put a link below. It was the most reasonably priced with the highest rating on it. So that's why I got it. And this is it here. Obviously, the greatest thing about it was the instructions and safety on it. These guys have a sense of humor. They have the safety first here, and they say, this is a heat gun. It says so on the package. It is not a hairdryer or a nail dryer, an iron or milk frother, a lighter or a portable heater. Use responsibly. And they go on, and it's hilarious. They're pretty funny. So here it is here. It's got a pretty long cord on it. I think it's like 5 foot, so it gives you a bit of distance. On-off switch for high and low. Now, I ran it for a while because they recommend you doing that. It gets rid of the burning smell. And then you can run it on low. Okay. I can feel the heat here. It gets warm. You don't want to put your hand in front of you. And then off and then high. Personally, I'm just going to use the low because I don't know how it's going to react with this stuff. We're about to find out. So I just trimmed this up. You want a little bit of excess here. When you wrap it over, you want it to tuck underneath, go over the fold there, and I'm hoping I have enough to go underneath and come around. So I'm going to do that. I've cleaned this off with alcohol. You even want to wash your hands to get rid of any oil. I just don't want to take any chances. It has these fake pins, which I hope will have enough definition on them. I can put it on, heat it, and it'll shrink on and then cut them out. I'll also cut these a little long. Okay. And I'm going to heat them, I'm not sure if this is going to shrink, so I'm going to heat them and let it sink in, see if it shrinks. If not, I'm still going to trim it off. So that's what we're going to do now. Got to avoid this. Let's see if this will work. Fold these over as tight as you can. You want to really make sure you get them on that edge. I'm just using a foam pad. I'm hoping it'll keep a fairly even rub on it. Okay. Now, they do say that you should heat the surface it's going on. I'm not sure I want to be holding it when I do that. How hot do you want it? So now if you look, these are now, there's a bubble around the bottom here. I want to see, and I have a tool that I used to use building models to see if I can round it and get rid of that bubble, which apparently is not helping me. Now, somebody told me that if you prick it through, you can push the air out. Oh, just don't break your tip, like I just did. Huh. I want to stretch it tight around that so that it's a tight fit. This is rubberized. Maybe I should use that. And heat it when I do it. Definitely putting a hole in it helps. I'm going to heat it. Let's give it a try. It's warm. I'm getting a bubbles coming up here. Not good. Can I get one? Oh, it's not bubbles. It's the rust markings. Oh, look at that. When it's hot, you can really manipulate it. Oh, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Look at that. So it does shrink. Wow. A lot. Well, not a lot, but it tightens up. You have to have a really clean surface, I think. I got bubbles. Actually, it's not bubbles because it's not moving. It must be the rust marks, and there you have it there if you look. See that? Look how it tightened up around the fake pins. It really pulled tight. What I'm worried about is with all this rust, it's really going to show up. But, you know what? What do you do? So there you have it there. And again, I'm seeing where all the rust was, where the pitting is. It shows up, but I don't think there's much you can do with that, because to try and get rid of that pitting, this clamshell is very, very thin. I don't know if I want to be grinding down on that. But so far, so good. Look at that. Huh. Not bad. I think I like that blue. I've been running tests on the first one I ever did. A little like piece that I didn't cut right. See that? It's not obvious, but hey, still made a boo-boo. The original one that I did, the yellow one, I've had in my pocket for over a week now with my keys and a knife and another knife, and it's held up fine. For some reason, this feels different. It feels thinner. It's not the same. And I ordered a sample set of the same thing I had before. Maybe I'm just imagining it. So this is promising. Let's move on to the next guy. So this guy needs a cleanup. So we're going to take the clams off, and we'll polish and clean the blades and everything. Again, we'll clean up, clean these covers off, and then we're going green. Okay, we didn't break any clam shells. And take this off. I'm going to dip this guy and let him sit in some vapor rust for an hour or 3, because it's got a lot of rust on it. But I think these we can work on while we do that. I put a wire wheel on my little handheld Dremel, and I found that I could get really into the areas I couldn't before. So this is a better option, or else you just got to remember, you don't want to be overheating this stuff. So you go lightly. actually works really well. Look at that. Huh. So I was on lunch break and the boss pitched up. What do you think? Remember this? We were arguing about this. You wanted red, but they voted blue. What do you say to them? She's checking out things and making sure things are safe. Yeah, she's not having a good time with the cold weather. This morning outside it was minus 17 degrees. Just saying. So here are these two. See it there? Messed up on this one a little bit. Right there. It crinkled over and I can't get rid of it, so I just left it there. Is it a big deal? I don't know. It is, but it's not, hopefully it won't be a problem. So here's the actual knife. I've took it out. Now we've got to get rid of all the rust. Clean it all up, shine it all up, and then put the clam shells back on. And then, of course, once we're done, we've got to sharpen them up and all that good stuff. Basically, 600 or 400 grit, then 1000, and then we polish. So there you can see, cleaned it up somewhat. You can see the blade. That's with 1000. I'm going to go to mothers on everything you can see. And of course, cleaned out the well, a lot of rust in there. So we're ready to put it together, and then we're going to go at it with mothers when we're done. So here we have it here. I got the clamshells back on. Let's see that. And we got him shiny. Now we're going to make him sharp. So here we are here. All polished, sharpened, and shiny. 2 down, 1 to go. The big one. We got him. So here we are with this guy, who we're going to clean up and everything, but we want to modify him into kind of sort of a fisherman. The clamshells are a little beat up. They dented, so I'm going to see if I can round them off and just clean them up a little bit, because when they're sitting on the knife, they actually move. So I need to clean that up. You can see, I don't know if you can see on this one, it's got a big divot there and on there. So we're going to do that quickly. I'm just going to use my little peening hammer here. This guy, but the round side, and just tap around in there and see if we can make him look better. Well, it's a little better, but I don't know how it's going to sit on there. It's kind of all bent, that's why. Huh. So things were going great guns there for a while. And then I snapped the tip off. So I thought while I had it in my grubbies, I would see if I could come up with a scaler and a hook remover, which is okay. The bottle opener, I don't even want to go there the way this is going. I would have to cut in and then fight. You know what? I'm going to do it because, well, I need to practice it before. You win some, you lose some. What do you do? Hopefully, you learn some, right? Here they are here. In order of preference from you guys who voted. Here is the blue one. I really like this knife. It's such a huge, solid Fisherman. I mean, look at this guy. See that? Look how big this guy is. You don't realize how big it is until you look at the other ones. This vinyl, I like it. I think the vinyl I used on the yellow one is different. It's from the same company and they called it the same, but it was a sample pack of like 50 sheets. And it was a good deal, so I got it, and they said it's the same. I think the backing on it was different. Otherwise, I believe it's the same. I couldn't really tell. I just thought it felt different when it was still on the backing. So fun to put together. I'm just hoping this vinyl is as strong as they say it is, because if it is, this is a cool way to replace a handle on any of these clamshells. Really worked out well. I love this stuff. Look at the blade. It's a thing of beauty. And of course I made a slip for it. In it goes. Number 2, Fisherman. See that? This is a little different. This one has the fish on it. And when I put the vinyl on here, if you look right there between the fish and the pin, fake pin, the vinyl crinkled and I couldn't get it to flatten out. It actually looks like the fish is hooked up. I can wish. Anyway, it worked out pretty good. It came out better, especially on the fish. That really worked out well. On the other side, it's just plain. Now, there are ones that have that snail, or somebody suggested that maybe it's the old style auto retrieve fly fishing reel. Could be, because it has that little handle on it that you press and it retrieves the line for you. Very old school. But look at this, and it cleaned up very nice. Look at that. A nice little project this one was. You can see it there. Yeah, sharpened up nice. And here's the tang stamp. You can see it there. And here's the info. So nice little knife, you know, it has the bottle opener. It has the scale remover. It doesn't have a hook remover, but this is the single blade version. And normally the single blade, actually they put the hook remover here. The liners actually stick out a little bit more, but it's only on the bigger ones, I think. I have one of those, so this will work. Just another Fisherman, right? Love these guys. And then the horror, this guy. See it? You know, everything went together fine. I really tried. It had been squashed or something. When that happened, you know, those clamshells are like, they have to be perfect. And if you don't, you get little gaps like this. You can see there's a lump. And to try and straighten them back out again is almost impossible. I thought I had it pretty close, but look there. There's a gap there. And you can still see I try to round them off, but I just couldn't get it. It's still a little flattened, so probably why it's a little wavy there. And then I got ahead of myself. I decided this was that plain single blade jack to see if I could modify it into a fishing knife. And so I started doing that. And I was looking for this look with the scaler and the bottle opener. Well, there I was doing the scales, and we were going along, great guns, and I had it in the vise, and I thought I had it low enough in the vise to support the blade. Well, you can see when I got down to just, there's about, I want to say, 1/4 inch missing now. And what I was doing was I was flattening the top and bringing the scaler as close as I could. And when I was flattening the top, because I wanted to do that to it, you see that? To make it the hook release. Well, I was doing that and the Dremel just caught. Snap, and there you go, we're all done. So it was kind of disappointing. And I was wondering why that broke so easily. But then, I had a closer look at the blades. These Fisherman blades are a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker than your regular single blade jack. And of course, I saw the can opener, so I thought, even though I broke that off, I did put a hook remover on the end there. I wanted to see if I could do it, and of course, do the scale remover. Then I thought, can you make a bottle opener? Okay. Well, once again, I noticed the blade is thinner. And you can see it here. I got about there. Will this work? Probably. I basically copied this, but I was getting so close up top here, I had to flatten it out. So it's not a nice round curve there. It kind of goes up and flattens out and comes around. It's not the finished thing, but I wanted to see if I could at least try and make one. This blade is now toast. It's really flexible right there. There's just not enough meat left. And when you look at it, these guys are just that much heavier. And I never realized that. But it was fun to play with. Disappointing, but I learned something. And you know what? You don't learn till you try, right? So there it is there. My kind of sort of almost there Fisherman that didn't work with this knife. So there you go. And here the three of them are. There they are there. Another two I can add to my Fisherman collection, because now they're actually finished. This one, I think I'm going to put it up on the wall in front of me there and say, pay attention. It's the only way you learn, right? Like I said, I used to see the single blade jacks all over the place, and their clamshells, the covers were all damaged, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that because I don't really have a way of fixing it. Well, maybe now I've discovered that. And the cool thing is, you got all these different colors. That sample pack I got was like 50 sheets, 3 of each color. And they go from white all the way to black with red, green, yellow, pink, purple, gray, silver, gold in between. A lot of options. Not only that, you can get the patterned ones. And I was talking to Travis's wife, Laura, about it. And she said that she's not sure you can get the patterned ones in the permanent style, the permanent ones. She said, but there is a way around that. You can use different colored permanent ones, but you have to melt them together. It's an option. I might want to try that. I don't know. Anyway, that's another story. You all be safe out there, especially when you're doing this stuff, and especially when that happens. I was cutting with that Dremel. I had my safety glasses on, but I didn't have gloves. I don't like gloves. But it was so quick. I was like, eep, bing, gone. And there it was gone. I don't even know where it went. But I had my safety glasses on, so keep that in mind. Things like that can just happen so quickly. I thought I was being safe enough. Just didn't think about how thick the blade was. So keep that in mind. Always be safe. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. Actually, I know I'll be back. Oh, man. Got a lot going on and starting to get into these mail calls with all these knives. So much to do. So much to show you. You just saw the Barlow video. Fantastic collection. In fact, I have it sitting on top of the box there, this Barlow, the tip top from Camelus. I have to pick it up every 10 minutes and go, because it's a thing of beauty. And not only that, the other day I ran over to Keith's to drop off a coffee mug for him, a 2CG coffee mug. And he said, glad you're here because gave me another bag. We'll get into that later. Thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And we'll see you again soon.